outside the federal Whipple building, and it's been getting a bit tense.
Protests continue to engulf Minneapolis 1 week after ICE officer Jonathan Ross shot and killed Renee Nicole Good. Federal officials say that the shooting was self-defense. Tensions here have been mounting for a month, ever since a surge in immigration enforcement brought thousands of ICE agents into the city. Hundreds more are expected this week. Now, Minneapolis finds itself at the center of an escalating standoff between federal and local government. Just this week, 6 federal prosecutors resigned amid pressure to treat Good's death as an assault on a federal officer.
This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents, an act of domestic terrorism.
To Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara, the shooting was inevitable.
The biggest thing that I am afraid of that is real is that we can have a tragedy happen in this city.
O'Hara took over the Minneapolis Police Department in 2022, 2 years after George Floyd was killed by police.
So we've been stuck over the last several weeks as the local police, kind of getting dragged into the middle of these situations where there's community that's angry and frustrated about what's happening.
Do you work with ICE?
No, there's a separation ordinance. We have nothing to do with the federal actions that are taking place. But then when our cops show up, the people who are protesting then turn their frustration and their anger on our cops. We have been trying for the last few years very intentionally to try and rebuild trust with all of our residents in the city because of what happened here 5 years ago. And the concern is when we have outsiders coming into our town wearing vests that say police, engaging in methods that are both unsafe, but also that are just questionable, acting like an asshole to people on the street. I mean, it's just damaging to the reputation of all of law enforcement. Not acting like a professional on the street, talking to people in ways that are not respectful.
Where do you think this is gonna go next?
What this should lead to is somebody in charge taking a look at things objectively and saying, hey, maybe we need to look at our procedures. Hey, maybe this actually was preventable. That's what police agencies have been doing in this country for many years. The situation that we're in, it feels almost like things are kind of upside down.
No! What happened to Good wasn't an isolated incident. The Journal identified 12 other instances of federal immigration agents firing at or into vehicles since July, and one other resulted in a death. DHS told the Journal that in all of these incidents, the officer acted in self-defense because the drivers were using their cars as deadly weapons. The spokesperson called the chief's remarks, quote, disgusting, and said this rhetoric encouraged assaults on officers.
Our ICE officers and our CBP officers are seeing highly coordinated campaign of violence against them. They still need to be able to carry out those operations. We do have to send those federal reinforcements so that we can continue with these operations and make sure that people and our law enforcement are safe.
Across the Twin Cities, a vast network of volunteers have mobilized to track federal agents.
Yeah, I'm not impeding. You guys are all here. I'm not impeding.
Go back to your vehicle.
I got you. Don't worry about me, bro. Let's do this. Drop your weapons. Let's do this. Get out. Go ahead.
The day after Good was shot, we joined Amanda Kohler and St. Paul City Council member Hwa-Jong Kim on an ICE-watching patrol.
Hey, this is Amanda and Hwa-Jong. We're heading from North End towards Midway, unless you need us elsewhere.
Right now, they're looking for cars that they think might belong to ICE.
Could I get a plate check, please? I look at cars very closely now.
If the license plate comes up on a database compiled by activists, they'll sound the alarm.
You're hearing just a really incredible organized level of response in our neighborhood.
Hey, dispatch, I have 2
white men in military fatigue driving a white sedan. I'm hoping they will pass me here so I can get a plate.
In St. Paul, we have about 17 neighborhoods, and right now most of them have a neighborhood signal chat.
When ICE activity is confirmed, volunteers blow whistles and honk car horns to warn immigrants in the area. Others follow ICE cars to the location of the raid. DHS has described these actions as interference by rioters and agitators.
Get the f*** out of here!
Is there a concern that the movement's being co-opted by people who are not sort of operating, who have not been operating the way that you have for the last month?
Frankly, different people have different spice levels, is how I talk about it. I am personally very committed and preach nonviolence, for not just because of ethics, but because I think it's what's strategic. I don't want to give them any ground to claim that anything they do is justified. I'm not there to intervene. I'm there to just get that person's name so we can make sure that person gets legal support and their family gets notified. And I'm there to make it take as much time as possible. So whether that's blowing a whistle to annoy them or even just like making small talk. And I understand that I'm not gonna like stop them from doing something in the moment, but I can certainly slow them down.